Lana Del Rey.
Lana Del Rey. What's that? We're on. Hi. I was just, rehearsing for, court.
Lana Del Rey.
Go to rebroadcast.
Oh! What? Oh!
Okay, guys.
Before we get into the show, it's a whole song and a dance, the show. Before we get into the son of a show, I've been asking the question, what's the worst movie ever made? What is the worst movie ever made? And over the weekend, I think I can safely say I found it. I think I found the worst movie. I just want to start by showing you the poster for the movie. It's called, full title, Honorable Men, A Choice Between Love and Honor. Oh, whoa, wait, hold on. Let me get a look at this poster.
Every movie is a miracle.
And this movie is definitely a miracle. I don't know how... I just wanted to play a little bit of this movie. Check the soundtrack on this movie. This is one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Check this out.
Oh! What?
If I had to describe this movie, I would say it's like if you had a DVD box set of The Wire, and you left it in the hot sun, dropped it in a river. So the discs are totally melted, but somehow it still plays. You get, what the hell is this thing called? Honorable Men from 2004. You can watch this entire movie on...
That's on YouTube.
And I highly recommend you do. If you do, don't go in there, but make pee-pee, the man asked me a hard question, booty hole wax down, Chinese people look Chinese. Just go in there and be like, this is amazing. This is a great movie. How is this not in the AFI top whatever crap? But I love it, and
praise God
for this movie. What channel is it on here? The Crap Film Club. Hey!
Oh! 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 Oh!
In our health lead, the Sesame Street word of the day is trauma dump.
Jesus, Jake Trapper.
Jesus, Jake Trapbeat.
Elmo,
who
learned all about trauma dumps on Monday after he asked a seemingly simple question on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Okay.
Elmo is just checking in. How is everybody doing?
Right.
Turns out everybody is not okay. And by everybody,
Christ.
I mean seemingly everybody. Elmo was flooded with responses. Every morning, I cannot wait to go back to sleep. Every Monday, I cannot wait for Friday to come. Every single day and every single week.
Leave Elmo. Hey, leave Elmo out of that. Hey, Jake.
Yeah, so this is some little bullshit that I seen on the Timey.
Kept seeing this on social media. Elmo. What is this? You look at this, you're like, what the hell? What is this? Elmo the puppet. He put on Twitter. He has a Twitter. Elmo put on Twitter, hey.
How y'all doing?
And people replied, and frankly, some of these people got dealt with by Elmo, I believe. Elmo had to
boom, 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 boom.
Okay, you know what? Before we get off Elmo and his little rat ass, I do want to give a little message to CNN. Mic up Elmo's guy. Mic up the guy who's doing Elmo's voice. Listen to this.
Oh, well, thank you for asking me. That's a very important thing to ask people. And monsters, too. Well, Elmo's doing pretty well.
Oh, God. So they do this segment on CNN where Elmo's going off. Elmo's having a meltdown about how he had to clap back at all these people on Twitter, And they put a lapel mic on Elmo's agent, I guess? On Elmo's manager. And please, CNN, never do this again. They just turned her mic way up so that they could catch Elmo's voice, and it's like you're inside this woman's mouth the whole time.
Don't do that. That's not fair to her.
Get a separate mic for Elmo. And this concludes Tech Talk. Mic Talk.
Hey, man.
Okay.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, man.
You sound Italian.
Yes.
All right, one more clip here. This Bill Maher. What's the other guy's name? Patty Bet David. Both of these guys get huge numbers on.
That's on YouTube.
I mean, whatever. But there's one part of this that I thought was kind of funny. Here it is.
Okay, since they like details, let's talk about some details.
Oh, Jesus.
You say you Democrats are more about details, right? So I want to give them credit for
I can tell this. I can tell this is going to be dumb, but okay.
So it's going to be dumb. When it's details.
Okay. Oh, God, I love that. I could already tell this is going to be dumb, what you're going to say. Why did you have this guy on the show? I could already tell what you're going to say is dumb. Oh, God. I could already tell what you're going to say is just stupid. It's funny too. This is one of the funniest interviews because just Bill Maher has no interest in doing this or being there. I can tell it's gonna be stupid. Like Bill Maher also seems to have no idea who. Bill Maher seems to have no idea who this guy is either, which is kind of funny.
I've realized that
Dr.
everything
Drew?
in the news is BS.
Oh.
Everything. There is nothing that I can consume on any legacy media that I can trust.
Oh.
And that.
By the way, he's on Dave Rubin's show saying that, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah, I thought today we would I thought today we look at one of the wackier channels on YouTube. It's this channel, it's Dave Rubin. His show is, kind of hilarious in a way. And Dave Rubin, like Joe Rogan, has a subreddit, and it's totally devoted to making fun of him. It's totally devoted to giving him some of these.
Boom, 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 boom.
We have done Reddit right at this channel, I have to say. Somebody goes on the subreddit of this channel. They type in like, "Hey, I got a real question," or "I got a real thought out comment." They type it out. You look at the replies. It's all just make PP Lana Del Rey. On both poor old Dave Rubin and poor old Joe's subreddit, they just post clips that's like, look at this. Yeah.
I hope at minimum, particularly young people, become furious. They should be outraged and angry at what was done to them.
Whoa.
If that happens, I think that's enough. The fact that we destroyed the world, we shut the world down to have safety as the only priority, the one and only priority, not a consideration. No, everything else has to go over here. And safety uber alles, that's it.
Get right, California
that
Uber
again, back to Jesus.
Hey.
Jesus.
Right, California Uber alles, that Dead Kennedy song, right.
This is Dr. Drewski right here.
He's on the Dave Rubin show, and he's a bit of an interesting character. He's been basically like a therapist forever. As long as I've been aware of things, he's been the public therapist guy. And, some of the advice he gives is pretty good. He's like instant gratification is not always good. There's such a thing as a hedonic treadmill, all this crap. All this stuff that you could learn anywhere. But what's interesting about Dr. Drew is that he's probably in his career, he said to somebody, hey, you need to move past this. You need to move past. You went through a bad thing. You went through something unpleasant. We got to get you past this.
We got to move on,
But Dr. Drew can't seem to move past something that everyone else has moved past, which is that the Pinkberry shut down for a year. Kids had to do Zoom from school for a year. Now everybody's like, all right, back to school and back to the Pinkberry, but Dr. Drew he just all keeps going with this. Dr. Drew, you don't think I wanted to go to Pinkberry? Getting a little coconut shavings on the ice cream. But I've moved past it. Goddamn you, Dr. Drew. You son of a bitch. You. I don't know if this is the best advice from a doctor. He says young people should get really pissed off about what happened to them, So I guess he's saying if like a mystery disease that's, well documented as being very dangerous starts ripping across the world, hey, kids of the world, you march into the Macaroni Grill and demand service? I don't know.
And that there is such a spiritual vacuum, both spiritual from a sense of some higher power or purpose, and interpersonal emptiness. We're not connected the way we should. And the new religion has been COVID or politics or something, or anti-Trump or something. This is what's connecting people, is these extreme experiences politically and socially.
Okay, so here Doc Drew is doing something that in the psychological field, in psychological terms, they call getting kind of nutty with it here. He's making a point that's not totally uninteresting. He's like, people feel some kind of people have some kind of a social problems or spiritual problems or some lack of meaning in their life, so they become politically extreme. They become extremist, There might be something to that, but did you know what show you're on? One of the most politically extreme things probably out there. It's like, yeah, Dave, it's really unhealthy for people to get really politically extreme. Oh, by the way, did you want to finish that segment where you tell your viewers that Ilhan Omar is literally coming to kidnap them right now? And she's in their backyard. And then, and then Dr. Drew is like the examples he gives of this kind of extremism, just like off the top of his head, is again, when we couldn't go to the Pinkberry, which was disturbing for me too. So I get it. A thing everybody's moved on from and forgot, and then anti-Trumpism. So could I go to Dr. Drew's office and be like, hey, I just really don't like Trump, and I think that's wrong, and then Dr. Drew's like, oh, we got to get past this. What are we talking about here, Dr. Drew?
.com, and we have a jam-packed Monday show for you. Like, there is a lot going on. I even bulleted it out for you. We've got Ilhan Omar.
Never heard of her?
Who's basically a terrorist. Like, we have a terrorist in the government. I'm sorry. I don't know how to tell you any other way. She's here to destroy America.
Okay, so the newsman Dave Rubin has come to the very academic conclusion that, what's the lady's name? The Minnesota Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar, is a terrorist. Okay, so, yeah. It's a pretty controversial claim. Let's get some backup on that one. Here we go.
The end of the show. So let's just dive right in. This speech is completely bananas. There are many clips of it. We're only going to show you one portion of her talking.
Let's check it out.
Ilhan Omar was given a speech at a Somalian event.
Praise God.
And here she is. I don't even want to color this. Just listen to what she says. Of course, this is going to be in, you're going to have to read the translation. Here we go.
I guess maybe I should read this. My answer to Somalians was that the U.S. government will only do what Somalians in the U.S. tell them to do. Okay? They will do what we want and nothing else. They must follow our orders, and that is how we will safeguard the interest of Somalia. Okay? We Somalians must have confidence in ourselves that we call the shots in the U.S., okay? We live in the U.S., pay taxes in the U.S., and have a real voice, okay? The U.S. is a country where one of your daughters, myself, is in Congress to represent your interest, okay? For as long as I am in the U.S. Congress, Somalia will never be in danger. Its waters will not, what the hell does it say? Be stolen by Ethiopia or others, okay? The U.S. would not dare to support anyone against Somalia to steal our land or oceans, okay? Okay, before we come back to this, listen to what Dave Rubin says when they come back from this.
A lovely language, isn't it? For those of you that don't speak...
Okay, all right. By the way, speaking of a lovely language, here's Dave Rubin like a minute later.
How will that work? How will that change the way you work? An average of truly
That's fine.
At an average.
That's fine. Okay, so that's his proof that she's a terrorist. She's a Somalian. She's giving a speech to a group of Somalians. Hey, I'm a politician. You have an interest in this country that you're from. I'm going to do what I can as a congressperson to protect that country. Make sure it's safe, whatever. I don't know if that's terrorism. It kind of sounds like what politicians do. Also, would like to get Drew's feedback on that. Dave Rubin hears another language, and he's like, that's bad. Why do people speak other languages? Does that seem a bit extreme, Drew? Okay, but Dave goes on with this. Here we go.
Minnesota. It reminds me of Minnesota of 20, 30 years ago, Good old Minnesota. Kirby Puckett, the Twins, and Ilhan Omar and her band of people who do not love America and are here to make it much, much worse. Now, why am I starting with that clip? Now,
yeah, this is another one I'd like to get Doc Drew's take on. You know what I mean? If you live in a state where there are some people who dress differently, maybe speak a second language, is it a bit extreme to say that they hate America? There's nothing extreme about that, right? Hey, answer me, Drew. Answer me, Drew, goddamn you son of a I don't know, could maybe the examples that Drew gave be a little less extreme than this? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? We'll never know.
We need to speak up. The time is now.
Right? You know what? You're right. I'm finally going to say it.
I like women, not men.
Reference, the chart was going around about a month ago where there are now more illegals coming into the country than Americans having babies. Play that out. Do some basic math. I know math is racist, but you do that over time. Do you think we might end up a little bit more like Somalia? Do you want to live in Somalia?
Drew, want to chime in on this? Really want to get Drew's take on this one. If there's a guy who's one of the richest guys in the world, who's posting on the social media platform that he owns, by the way, stuff that's clearly insane. It's been written about over and over again. Both insane and misleading and totally meant to scare his audience. Does that seem healthy? Does that seem healthy? That's what I would like to know. Does that seem healthy or does that seem a bit... Okay, here's another one. All these guys are really pissed off at Jon Stewart. That Jon Stewart is coming back to, what, YouTube? What's he doing? Hey, message to Jon Stewart. Hey.
Back off, man.
But they're really pissed off at Jon Stewart. Here we go. Check this out.
But yes, we have all of that cited in all of our briefs.
You're suggesting that protecting children means overriding the recommendations of the American Medical Association, the American Association of Pediatrics.
All right.
I mean, it goes on and on. What an absolutely smug, unlikable person he became for the cool 1 million plus per episode he was making on that now defunct show. So then the machine brings him back, owned by Viacom.
Okay. Hey, calm down, Dave. I kind of like that. Dave Rubin plays a Jon Stewart clip, you know, and then he comes back from it. And he's like, it goes on and on. Yeah, probably goes on and on. It's a TV segment. You know, it's kind of how time works. It goes on. It moves chronologically forward. You know, I mean, it keeps going, and then it stops eventually. But Dave is really pissed off about this because Jon Stewart is talking to a political figure, Attorney General, I think she is, from Arkansas. He's kind of pressing her on an issue. He's like, hey, these medical organizations say this. What do you have to say about that? And Dave Rubin's like, this smug bastard.
This smug bastard pressing
a political figure who's making laws that affect a bunch of people. It's this smug piece of turd.
But then what happens is not only do they get all the bad policies pushed through because of people like Jon Stewart, these media people who confuse you and guilt you and go after the good guys and make it seem like they're bad or make it seem like if you care about a border, you're racist and everything else.
Okay, that there actually is pretty good analysis, you know. Okay, funny. It's funny analysis of the news and all this crap. Because what he just said there is like, yeah, this guy Jon Stewart, he likes the bad guys and he hates the good guys. Oh, thanks. Thanks for explaining that to me. I'm 11. Okay, great. Now here's Dave getting pissed off about a Law and Order about a Law and Order episode. I might actually have to bleep this, because God only knows what the hell YouTube's problem is.
That's on YouTube.
But you'll get it. Here we go.
The ideas that we just talked about there are the things that get into the culture, and then you wonder why everything's wrong, why our politicians suck, why we don't know up is down and up is up and down is down and all of
Law and Order episodes, Dave. Okay, go ahead.
These things. So now I want to drive this a little further into the cultural piece of all of this. Because Law and Order, which has been on the air for like 80,000 years at this point.
Hey, lay off Law and Order. You give it a little bit of this.
Boom, 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 boom.
There is a clip going around of a new episode of Law and Order where a white woman is raped by a black man but doesn't want him to go to jail.
Easy,
Take a
Dave.
look at
Okay, NBC or whatever the hell channel Law and Order is on dinged my A for this one when I played it, so I'll just explain it. It's a lady who gets... I'm not allowed to say this either. R word by a young person, like a teenager or something, I guess. And she's like, I don't know if I want them to go to jail because then their life might be destroyed from that. That's the whole scene.
Can we do a road trip? Would you guys be interested in doing a road trip after the show? Drive cross country, go to Hollywood, bomb the place?
Oh, you got the crew on that one. Got the crew laughing. Nice one, Dave. So yeah, where do our real world problemos come from? You know, is it the real world? No, it's Law and Order. It's obviously Law and Order. A show watched by the elderly and ironic Brooklynites. But I wonder if those Law and Order writers, TV writers, you know, I wonder if they're aware of a show called The Sopranos. You would think, you would hope, you know, a show that everybody says, oh, it's the greatest show ever made. We got a clip from it here, actually.
Oh!
Because that's basically the exact same plot line from a Sopranos plot line from season 3. And if these guys who are all clipping that and saying, look, here's the problem, if they knew anything about anything, they might know about that. But they don't. So there we go.
And the whole thing, I actually had never heard of Newsmax until last Friday, so about 4 or 5 days ago. This organization, Newsmax, has been looking into PragerU and putting them on all these lists, and they're having trouble getting vendors because of this. Anyway, I'd never heard of them until she said that on my show. And then lo and behold, on Monday morning, I get an email from Newsmax that they're looking into me.
Guard.
Now, I am an opinion show, Sean. Yeah, go ahead.
Step in here.
Real quick, I just want to make sure we're clear on our terms here. Newsmax, us, good, fighting for justice.
Oh, no, it's okay, Dave. Don't worry. You know, we've all done stuff like that. There's two words that sound similar and you mix them up. Happens, you know. It happens. What are you going to do? But this is the funniest version of it, you know. This Newsmax sucks. I got Newsmax on my ass.
You know what? I think Newsmax is dangerous.
You know what I want to do that goddamn Newsmax is some of this. No, wait, Dave. That's the show you're on, though. Okay, here's a fun little clip. Somebody, one of his, viewers asks him, who do you think should be on The View? Who would you replace The View ladies? Who's on that? Who's even on that show? Who watches that crap? Who would you replace The View ladies with? Okay.
They have to be diverse in their opinions, but not divisive. Gender is not an issue. Jordan Peterson has already declined. Okay. Who do you hire and how many? Well, how many? They have 5 of those chicks on the View right now? Okay, so, all right, so I'm going to put myself, I'll moderate the thing, so I'll be Whoopi. I'll even wear her clothes. And so that's Dave Rubin 1.
Nailed it.
All right, so let's get on the liberal side. You're going to put a Bill Maher. Or Isabel. You know what? We're going to go with Isabel Brown, my co-host on People of the Internet. She's young, Gen Z. She knows what's up, and it's good to have a chick.
Another person nobody's heard of. Okay. Oh, yeah. The viewers are going to...
All right, so let's throw another righty in. I think you definitely could throw a Shapiro on there, and then give me someone on the left that's not completely bananas. Oh, Tulsi. That would be pretty good. Okay. That's a good show right there.
Yeah.
How about me, Bill, like that? So that's Dave Rubin 1. Interesting show.
Great. So we got Dave Rubin, Ben Shapiro, Bill Maher, and Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, so that's the worst possible answer, but I actually solved this. And if they made this show, this would be the highest rated show ever in the history of recorded or broadcast media ever. Who would be on The View? Elmo, Alex Jones, Lil Yachty, and a stray dog. Show me one pendejo out there who wouldn't watch that show. Well, there we go, guys. A little look into the wacky world of whoever this guy is. Who cares? Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? Hope you guys are doing good. Thank God it's the end of the week. What? Shit. Lana Del Rey. Guys, it's days like this, Mondays, where I need to kind of find something to center myself, to put myself in a good place. What do? Get in my car, go down to the local Walmart, and I
beat a kid in Walmart.
Always makes me feel better. But I hope you guys are doing good. Don't send Elmo any more of those messages, because he will look you right in the face and say,
wipe your ass with them.
Jesus. Talk to you guys soon. Pull in, please.
I might just walk out here and think I'm gonna take about a week off. Guys!
You're not getting the whole show, okay? Please, for Christ's sake, become a member on Patreon, okay? For as little as 2 bones. When you join on Patreon for as little as 2 stupid little bones, you get the Tuesday, Thursday shows every week. The Quaments program, where you can ask questions or tell stories or do whatever, and it's a whole show. Behind the scenes crap.
All for 2 putrid little bones, that's it.
And if you really want to support the wretched show, people call it because they're satanic, they're sick, you could become a producer for only 25 bones. These beautiful people here are, God! Without these producers, it's over, man. It's done.
Do you think we can do the show without the producers?
Okay, because if you do think that, you got another thing coming, my man.
You got a totally different thing coming.
Without the producers, it is as good as over.
Hello?
Is anyone listening to me? Please answer. I'll wait. Please answer.
Our hearts and our toilets
are forever endowed unto the producers from which all light comes. Praise God.
Praise God.
It really is amazing to have such beautiful producers, and if you want to do it, oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I love the producers so much that I wrote a little song about them. Here we go.
Hit it. Without the producers, we're going straight to hell. It will be their nationality for all eternity. Yeah. And then we'll go down to the lower level of hell where you can't get out. Not even for good behavior / deeds. Go down there. Deeds.